Here's a video to get you better at solving equations that have fractions in them. So on this simple equation, the fact is you have two fractions on them. If you don't want the fraction, you get rid of it. How? By doing the opposite. Right here you have b minus 4 divided by 6. If you don't want this divided by 6, simply multiply both sides by 6. And of course, you write the 6 up on the numerator spot. You don't write it down here or down here. Now, yes, you could have multiplied by 2 on both sides, but it's better to multiply by 6 because 6 is technically the LCD between 6 and 2. So when you multiply by 6, it gets rid of both fractions at the same time. So yeah, 6 over 6 cancel out. The only thing left that you have is a b minus 4. Bring down the equal sign. And over here, the 6 and the 2 also cancel out, but you have a 3 left over up on top. So when you see what's left over, b times 3, what do we get? 3b. 3 times b, b times 3 is 3b. So now we have this simple equation that we need to solve. We need to get b by itself on one side. The problem is we have b's on both sides. We don't want b's on both sides. So let's just get rid of one of those b's. Which one do you want to get rid of? The b on the left. Okay, we're going to go minus b. Cancels out. Minus b. What is 3b? Take away 1b. 2b. Or not to be. 2b equals negative 4. Now we're almost done. All we need to do is get b by itself. Our final step will be to divide by 2. Cancels. Divide by 2. You will have your answer b equals negative 2. And it's probably better to write it with the b on the left and the negative 2 on the right. And that's your final answer for that question. So I hope that helps you prepare for tomorrow's quiz, because this same type of question will be on tomorrow's quiz. Please review it on Edmodo if you'd like. Let me put this away. Let me pull out another one. Here's another one with fractions in it. Now sometimes you have fractions with other things within your equation. So if you want to get rid of the 5 halves or the 3 halves, you're going to have to multiply everything by 2. Now, it's not just this by 2 and this fraction over here by 2. It's everything by 2. What do I mean by that? 5 halves t by 2. Also t, you got to multiply that by 2. The 3 times 2 and the fraction 3 halves t times 2. So, of course, the 2's cancel. You end up with the 5t left over minus 2t equals 6. These 2's cancel, so you end up with a plus 3t. Sorry, this t's ugly. It looks like a F. I apologize. But anyway, we've canceled out all fractions. Now all we have to do is combine like terms on the left side. So right here we could actually do 5t take away 2t. What do we get? 3t, that's right. 3t equals, let's bring down the 6, bring down the plus and the 3t over here. Now at this point, you want to solve for t. So you want to get t by itself on one side. So you're thinking, where's my t at? Oh, I got it on the left side of the equal sign, and I also have it on the right side of my equal sign. I don't want it on both sides, so I'm going to get rid of one of them. I want to get rid of this 3t by subtracting 3t. And guess what's going to happen? It cancels out, and when I do that to this side, it also cancels out. Ladies and gentlemen, that does pose a problem. Sorry. The problem is that you end up with 0 equals 6. And we all know that that's an impossibility. So what do we say?
No solution.
No solution. And instead of writing no solution on tomorrow's quiz, which might be a test, you could just do the symbol of a circle with the line right through it. Okay? So if you don't want to waste space by writing no solution, just put a circle with a line right through it. Let's move on to one more problem where we have fractions. This one's fun. We could do this one several ways. Once again, let's multiply everything by half. Yeah? Not by half. What am I saying? Multiply everything by what? 2. So I want to go times 2 right here, times 2 on the 5, times 2 on the 3x, times 2 on the 3, times 2 on the 5, times 2 on the half. So yes, the halves cancel. I end up with the 1x. The 2 times 5 is 10 with the minus sign in front of it. The 2 times 3 up here is 6 with the plus sign in front of it, and it is 6x. The equal sign comes down. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10 with an x. And the 2's cancel out up here. You end up with a minus 1 at the very end. So we've canceled out the fractions. Let's now combine like terms on the left side. On the left side you have 3 terms, 1, 2, 3, of which 2 of them could be combined without even just in your head. What is 1x plus 6x? 7x. Bring down the minus 10. That's as simple as the left side could get. Let's look at the right side now. We could combine the 6 with the negative 1, and we will get 5 with the plus 10x. And this is our new simplified equation. Now let's worry about getting x by itself on one side. So I am going to move the x's to the left by subtracting 10x, canceling, subtracting 10x. I will get negative 3x minus 10 equals 5. Now we're almost done. All I need to do is get x by itself on that side. So I'm going to add 10 to get rid of the minus 10. Add 10 over here, and I'll end up with negative 3x equals 15. Let me make this smaller. Whoops. Here we go. So I end up with negative 3x equals 15, and of course we're going to divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3 cancels out. Your final answer is going to be x equals negative 5. Multi-step problem. I hope we understand that. You guys good with that?
Wait, I have a question.
Okay, what's the question? Let me pause it. So the question is, what if on this part of the equation, what if instead of subtracting 10x and moving it over here, what if I subtracted 7x and moved it over here? Truth is, your x's would end up on this side, and you'd end up with the same exact answer, but instead of x equals negative 5, you'd have negative 5 equals x. But it's the same correct answer though. So at the end of it all, it doesn't make a difference. And you might be doing a problem, and your partner might be doing the same exact problem. It looks like you guys are doing completely different work, because you will be doing completely different work. There's many roads to the same place, right? So you could be doing it totally different, and you'll still get the same answer. So you could move your x's, the x's move them to the right, and solve with the x being on the right side and your number being on the left side. That's totally fine. Let's move on. And let me do this same exact question, ladies and gentlemen, let me do the same exact question, but just a little bit differently. So the same exact question's right here. Now, on the work above that we just did, we multiplied everything by 2 to get rid of the fraction right off the bat. Now, what I'm going to do is take a minute or two, or a couple of seconds actually, and see if I could do anything to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit nicer. So if I look at the left side, let me do this. I want to look at the left side, and there is nothing to, well, technically there's an x term here and an x term there. So you could combine like terms, but that's a little bit of a problem because one's a fraction and one's not. So you'd have to get a common denominator to be able to add those right there. Let me just look at this side, see if there's anything to do over here. And the same problem, 3 and the negative half, you could do that, but you end up with fractions. Now, instead of getting rid of those fractions, I could think about move one of these guys to the other side to make it a little nicer. So, for example, I'm going to take this plus 5x and I'm going to subtract it. And what I do to one side, I do to the other side minus 5x over here. And that'll give me a negative 2x. And at the same time, I could take this minus 5 and go plus 5 and plus 5. And get an 8 on that side. So let me rewrite my equation. I have a 1/2 x. I have a minus 2x. I have an equal sign. I have an 8. I have a minus 1/2. So I made this equation a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to multiply everything by 2. This times 2, this times 2, this times 2, this times 2. Cancels. You're going to end up with x minus 4x equals 16. Cancels minus 1. So you really do end up with the same answer. We're going to keep working here. Moving it up a little to have more space. So on the left side, x minus 4x is a negative 3x. On the right side, 16 take away 1 is equal to 15. So either way, when you divide by negative 3 and divide by negative 3, you still get the answer x equals negative 5. So I hope this video helps, especially with fractions. Check out the other videos, study for tomorrow's quiz. So all this